angry Aussie, 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 angry, 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 angry Aussie, 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 angry, 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 angry.
Hello, here we are live. My little fashion accoutrement. It's a heated wheat bag because my neck is fucked because I slept funny. And I'm also going to do a riff on a cocktail I like to start with. Just because I want to use up Benedictine. Zip. Use up a bit of this whiskey as well. All right. So, answer that. Answer this here apple liqueur. Shazam. What alcohol content is this one? 18%, relatively low alcohol. And AIDS might be joining. So, actually, I think there's more left than I thought. I'm only supposed to put a quarter ounce of this in. Quarter ounce. How much is actually in here? A whole ounce. That's way too much. All right. I'll put you in something else. You'll go in something else. That's okay. Vermouth. Gotta put some vermouth in. Sing a little song to myself while I do it. 3/4 of an ounce. And loop. That cat I heard making a noise trying to get in. Hey, honey, you gonna drop in from time to time? That's cool. Aidsy might drop in on this stream. So, oh yeah, that'll do. This bitters will do. That'll do that. Now, give it a good fingering. Which is to say, stir it with a cast of Gaz Regan's finger. And a hello, supper. He texted me just a bit earlier wanting to come on, so I've sent the link. If we don't see him in, I don't know, first half hour, I'll text him and say, did you forget you were coming on the stream? But he could show up anywhere from now to half an hour from now. Very hard to tell with age. Sometimes things happen that take his focus. Heine, I'm working from home tomorrow. Yes. Yep, I saw that, Safa. Towns around Orange, Western New South Wales, more or less my old neck of the woods, getting locked down. Cheers, y'all. Oh, that's quality. Normally, this drink has rum in it. And I just swapped out rum for whiskey, just for something to do to see what it tasted like. The answer is, it tastes good. And I also swapped out the sweet vermouth for my absinthe-flavored vermouth. Still good. Oh, man. It's a classy drop. So, yeah, Chris, hello. Sorry. Hello, Chris. I got halfway between saying two things there. Hello, Chris. And Heine, yes, this will be just a till 10 o'clock stream. and then I'm going to bed. And hopefully I won't sleep crooked and my neck will be okay because it's fucked at the moment. And it's different. Like the pain goes right down my fucking back, quite honestly. Safa, what do I think about people saying China's responsible for the Microsoft Exchange hack earlier this year? Probably. China's just out fucking with people. But, you know, there's also the people making the claim have a vested interest in saying China's bad. But yeah, there've been a lot of really significant outages in the last 6 months. Some have been declared to be just technical accidents, problems. Some have been declared to be exploits. Who fucking knows? Speaking of accidents and exploits,
I thought you were
it's
talking about
Sophie.
fucking nerds. And hello.
Hello to you, sir.
Hello to you. I've got my sippy cup so it doesn't spill if I
Nice.
make it fall over because I'm manky.
Nice. Good plan.
Here you go.
Good plan. I'm okay. I'm wearing this delightful fashion accoutrement, which is a heated wheat bag because I fucked my neck by sleeping funny.
I fucking hate that.
I know,
I
it sucks,
fucking
doesn't
hate
it?
that. I used to do that all the time when I was swimming.
Yeah.
Because I had shoulders out to fucking here, right? Like you wouldn't have seen
Yeah.
them in your screen. I was fucking
Yeah.
no neck.
Yeah.
You know, people used to say, "Oh, you're a front row rugby player." I'm going, "No, I'm a butterfly. I'm even more stupid."
Yeah.
What do? I push a ton of water in front of me for
Yeah.
200 meters.
You get swimmers just have that wedge-shaped body in at the waist
Yeah.
and shoulders
You
out
know
the
what was
fuck.
really fucking bizarre is during that whole time I had body dysmorphia, the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And it was essentially because I was told I was fat on a daily basis.
Oh.
I never was.
No,
I just
you wouldn't
never
be a
was.
swimmer.
And so I was really self-conscious about it. But yeah, I had this no neck and these huge fucking shoulders. And at a time when I was the most gorgeous, I was the most self-conscious, and I pulled the least amount of roots.
It's all about attitude. It's all about
attitude,
mental state.
all about fucking understanding. Understand thyself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I had all these fucking huge shoulders on, I used to like sleep funny, and my head is sort of neck is sort of crick, and then I wake up in the morning going, oh, you know, like having like either a muscle spasm or a you know, a neck pinch, and it's like 4:30 in the morning, and you get up and go, ow, and it's like I don't know if I can move my shoulder. And we go, oh, swimming out here, and it's like ow, and for the next 3 days, like every movement was like ouch, that hurts, and I don't know what happened with neck cricks. They go as fast as they come.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. Like you think
because it's just a muscle thing.
Tail out, right?
Yeah.
But they don't. They just disappear.
Yeah. I did it because of my breathing machine, my CPAP machine. As I was rolling over, I was going like, oh, I think I've dislodged it and it's leaking. I need to put my head at a different angle. Oh, that's better. Except it was a real stupid angle. And I even knew at the time, this is a stupid angle and it's going to fuck my neck up. But everyone's saying hello to you because they haven't seen you for a while. And also saying hello to new Twitch follower, Loriander, who's a nurse from Denmark. So there you
Hello,
go.
Loriander, a nurse from Denmark. I hope that you are riding out the pandemic up in Scandinavia.
I believe they've actually already had COVID. So
Yeah,
They were doing some aged care nursing, and so they actually have already had the bug, and doesn't seem to have suffered too badly from it, which is good.
good. Glad of it.
Yeah,
I was talking
sucks.
to a path nurse today because I
Yeah.
had to go and do my urine screen to make sure that I've been being good.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Or officially good.
officially. Oh, his internet cut out. That was weird. Okay, hopefully we'll be back. Anyway, hello everyone. Hello Abigail. Hello Justin. I'm not sure how long it will take him to realize he's out of the stream. Hopefully straight away, and then I don't know how long it'll take him to get back on. Hopefully very quickly. But yeah, I don't know. That was there wasn't even any sort of apparent problems with his connection, and just a bazunga. Anyway, cheers. I almost finished my warm-up cocktail. I was going to taste some stuff because to celebrate another lockdown, I ordered more alcohol online, and it arrived in the last 2 days. So I've got a couple of things to taste because I've never had them before. Raiders, hello, good evening. And could I trouble you, sir? As a by the by, could you send me a direct message on Facebook or Twitter so I can ask you something? Won't bother to stream with it, but I need some information from you. If it so please you, sir, if it so please you, I would like if you sent me the DM. Slide on in, as the saying goes. Thank you, man. Thank you. Laurie Andy, you had to save an elder that was dying. You're unaware they had COVID. Full precautions wasn't up. Didn't have a lot of seconds to act. You had a doctor on the phone, told you to get them up. Cough. Look, okay. More fucking power to you. You put yourself at risk to care for someone whose life was in peril. You did suffer a health consequence as a result. And that's the thing with frontline medical staff. So, I lived, a girlfriend who was a nurse for 18 months. No, she's still a nurse. We were together for 18 months. And so I saw a lot of the work nurses do. Not that doctors don't do some stuff, but nurses are the fucking front line. And paramedics, ambulance people, the real fucking shock troops of our society. The rest of us just glibly go along not knowing the stress and trauma that frontline medical staff go through, because it's kind of fucked. Safa. Oh, no, let's be positive. Aidsy will be back. He just vanished mid-sentence, and I imagine he's trying to resolve technical difficulties at the moment. I'm surprised he hasn't texted me. Actually, we will see. But yeah, I'm going to keep a positive frame of mind and say Aidsy's going to be back. Justin, I'm assuming Aidsy knows he cut out because he won't see me anymore. If he cuts out, he won't see me. So he might not have noticed it instantaneously as he was in mid-sentence, maybe being absorbed in the story. But I'm sure he knows. You just came in from Jimmy Rees. Who or what is Jimmy Rees? So, Randy, your patient 60 sat, which is how well you oxidize your blood. Anything below 90 is dangerous. So we're talking about Windows Phone 60. Yep, you took the emergency measures to save someone's life and put yourself in harm's way. Because that's just what fucking frontline medical staff do on a friggin' regular basis. And even when it's not, a threat to their health, it's a bunch of gross and awful things. And speaking of gross and awful things, Aidsy's back.
I'm back. Did we both drop out, or did I just
No,
drop
no,
out?
just you. But
Because I came back like
mid-sentence.
the good kid that I am, and there was no angry there to greet me. And it
No.
was like the host could put you on any time. And it was like, well, he might, but he's not there. He doesn't love me. He's just run off. And he's just left the spear insignia Aboriginal flag back there for me to look at. And I'm thinking, there's symbology there. Look at the spears, motherfuck. This is what we mean by being
the warrior flag.
And I met his path nurse today, who was a anti-vaxxer and a COVID denier.
Oh shit! Oh god,
that bothered me. I don't like what Dan Andrews has done. It's like, why is that? She said, "Oh, everyone loves him, but I don't. I don't think he's done the right thing." And I'm going, "Why is that?" "Oh, these lockdowns." I'm going, and she's going, "Oh, yeah, no, he hasn't done a good job at all." I'm going, have you seen New South Wales? And she's going, "Oh, we're only going to get extended." I'm going, could be because of those two guys from Sydney. Those guys, which it is. And and thanks, guys. You fucking. Do you know their mother died of COVID?
Oh, that was fucked. Yeah, that's not going to be
just unbelievable.
Hi, Stella, by the way.
Hey, Stella.
Oh, and a recurring question, and I've never known the answer to it. Have you had any vaccine, or are you contraindicated, or?
I'm contraindicated for the AstraZeneca, but I have just had one Pfizer, and it knocked me on my ass for 2 days.
Yes, it'll do that.
The second one is the rough one.
I did have a friend today on Twitter who was thinking the first 6 to 12 hours, this is nothing. And then there's the going down in a screaming heap with a fever. And
unfortunately, on that same day, I was experiencing a come down from something else.
Right.
And it was rough. It was really rough.
Yeah, okay.
And,
okay.
Then the vaccine hit, and it was like, the come down was nothing. And all of those things that they say is not probable, but common in some percentage. I got them all. So I didn't get a fever. I just got sniffly, and I got joint pain, and I got hoarse, and I got a headache, a fucking terrible headache.
I got the chill.
Okay, it's okay. I'll take some benzos for the the joint stiffness and relax that. And I'll take some cough medicine for the horse. I like a tickle cough, and I'll take a couple of sleepers, and then just chill out. So I've looked in my grab bag of drug fun and found out that it's all gone. I went,
oh no,
why is it all gone?
Oh no.
I didn't eat it all. I know I didn't eat it all. Because the timings are that I don't get any more until today and tomorrow. And I went and looked at everything, and I realized I've had people who had reasonable claim to these things, and I said, take a couple.
Oh, sorry. I just want to cut in quickly to say goodnight to Abigail. She dropped in to say hello. Was excited to see you, but going beautiful. Out to see her lady friend. So she's that's nice. And baking pan. I know, right? I'd be leaving us for a lady friend too, quite honestly.
Well, I reckon if you wanted to make a lady sandwich with a guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, I do know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm hoping Dr. Abigail knows what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
Mine's just there, Dr. Abigail. Actually, it's just there, according to. Anyway, yeah, I was feeling rough as guts, and then I went to take these drugs, and they weren't there because they'd given them to people who needed them. And I went, oh, well, you're a dickhead. And
Yeah.
then Sunday came and was mildly worse, and then it got better and better and better and better.
Oh, good.
And that was good. Yesterday was okay, and I just took it easy anyway, and then today was fine, except that I'm a bit under it because I got up at 5 after crashing out at 3 and had to go into the city. Tell you what though, fucking trains are good this time.
What? There's no one on them.
There's no one on them. No crowds. Pace of pairs.
No.
I could get any seat that I wanted, and everybody on the train was socially distancing responsibly.
Oh, good.
And what was funny was the people on the train were so down. They were so miserable. It's like, and it's because they were looking around the train and going, every other cunt gets to stay at home, but not me.
Yeah,
I've got to go in.
Yeah,
I've got to go into Death City, and everyone else is here. He's home with their warm feetsies in their onesies in front of their computer, with their American software, making sure they're in front of their computer and timing them every time they go away from the computer. That stuff is selling like fucking hotcakes in Australia.
Yeah,
I'm disgusted, but there you go.
I will never work for anyone that puts monitoring software on the system. I'll just tell them to go fuck themselves. So you give me tasks to do and a time frame to do them in, and I'm going to do it. You put tracking software on me, and you can get a big old rubber dildo and like an anal intruder fister and just jam it right up there because I'm not working.
But there's also in Australia, not necessarily in America, but in Australia, there are actual laws against that. If you've got tracking software on someone's computer and they're working from home, the tracking software must only track something like inside the lines of your face and shoulders.
Oh, yeah, because for the privacy of other people,
Apparently, if it fucking tracks your house at all, the government will come down on them like a ton of shit. There is, however, software that will do that, and they've conceded to that, there's not a lot of software that does it, and the software that does do it is apparently extraordinarily expensive, if you're prepared to spend that much on fucking looking over your workers' shoulders, then you're not making any money anyway. You're really not. You've hired the wrong people and you're an idiot.
If someone wants to have a keystroke logger on my machine, like something that records everything you type and whatnot, they're just going to see me typing "fuck you, you big brother motherfucker" over again, over and over again.
Yeah, I'm going to put a macro on my keyboard going "get fucked motherfucker can't." Get fucked motherfucker can't. It's going to have a little song as you put the keylogger back through your.
I was also just noticing in the chat, Lorianda being given us some background on likely reactions to vaccines, and then said, sorry for the COVID vaccine. I said, don't say sorry. We're all about the information and the sensibleness and all that sort of things.
Yeah. Don't say sorry at all. Fucking who should have said sorry was my path nurse. Fucking hell.
Oh my God. Yeah, no.
And she fucking give it a little bit of, this nurse has been told that if they don't get the jab, they're going to lose their job. And I'm going, no fucking shit. Good. That's just me. I mean, I have opinions on vaccines. Oh yeah, but they don't know long term what it'll do. And then she was fucking going, and this blew my mind. She was going the fucking HPV vaccine for the girls. She's going, it hasn't been tested. They don't know the long-term effects. Well, not getting cervical cancer is one of the long-term effects. And I'm just thinking, you've decided you won't cut the boys. Fair enough. and then now you don't want to protect the girls. Okay, fucking moronic. Just what the fuck? Well, how do these people get gigs in fucking healthcare? I don't understand that.
They're a small minority, but they're out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, right, I go into hospital regularly, and I hear nurses talk about patients they've had in who are anti-vaxxers, and they're sick as dogs, and they're making everyone sick around them, and they make them really angry because they're always, when you're in pediatrics, right, they rotate you out after, I think it's 3 to 6 months. They rotate you out because you see some shit in pediatrics that will break your heart. And especially in neonatal pediatrics, you just see some shit in there that's just so desperately unfair. Anyone that goes in there with a skerrick of religion comes out an atheist or a God hater. And basically, you can't stay there. Even doctors, they insist that they have it's either counselling or psychiatry that is in hospital. It's like it's in-house, but you have to go every couple months or something. You must go if you're a pediatric doctor, because again, you see some shit in there that's just like, oncologists don't get the same amount of mental treatment, which gets to me, because I reckon that'd freak me out. Like being a pediatric oncologist would just blow my mind. I did, I can say it now because I'm not allowed to do it anymore. I did some charity work with pediatric oncology years ago. It was a comic. And you start to get to know some of the kids. And then you go in there next week and they're not there. And it's, you talk to the nurses. Oh, yeah, they went to sleep one night and they failed to thrive. And they lost a aortic nerve in the morning, and you just go, oh. And it's, their heart blew up in the middle of the fucking night because their bodies are so fragile from all of the disease and the treatment. And you just go, that's desperate. It's deeply unfair. And so, you get health workers in hospital who've been rotated out of pediatrics, who have been rotated out of oncology, who talk to you, and you talk to them about various different health operations. I'm not going to go into it because there's many of them, and they're always controversial. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then you talk to them about we get onto vaccines, and Jesus. You ever want to fucking see a nurse do a fucking fuse? Start talking to them about anti-vaxxers.
People who've seen kids particularly get really sick and whatnot. And hey, speaking of which, two things quickly. Just wanted to fill in again, Laurie Anders, new follower, like, oh, who is AZ? How do you know? Okay, we went to uni together. But if you really want to know everything about AZ, go on YouTube and search AZ Code Grey, which is the username you see there, AIDZEE code CODE Grey, GREY, because we are goddamn Australians, not Americans. And that will tell you just far too much about AZ, quite honestly.
TMI.
The other thing I was going to say is if you ever get over here again, I'm developing a bottle of Infinity whiskey, which is like when each of the bottles just has a little bit left, you add it in, because there's a theory that says the more air there is in a bottle, it's more likely to oxidize the whiskey and lose its wonderful flavors. So if you put all the little bits in one bottle, you get some magical new blend. In fact, I should taste this because I just added something to it.
The theory is that once you've got a quarter of a bottle of whiskey left, you get a couple of mates around and finish it.
Yeah, because it loses quality.
Because it'll just get all fucking teetotal on you. How's it taste?
Well, let me have a little
I was
taste.
just going to neck it.
No, not the whole bottle. I just put a bit in the shot
Maybe
glass.
just a sip.
It's still a good blend. Oh no, it's good. No, it's going down real good. Mm.
Is it all like single malts all stacked up?
The last one I put in was a single malt. It's got a real blend. It had a bit of American rye. It had some Irish whiskey. A couple of Australian ones. I think there was some wild turkey in it as well, like American bourbon. Oh no, it was the actual Knob Creek. The bottle that was some Knob Creek American bourbon. So it's like, and that's like 100 proof bourbon. And so yeah, I just put the last bit from this local bottle, Starwood Nova, which is an exceptional single malt from down Port Melbourne. So it's nice. It's very nice.
Well, that sounds good, and I might have to make a special.
When we're allowed to travel around, when we're allowed to go more than 5 kilometers and visit other people's houses and stuff.
You see, I, as your carer, mental health counsellor, might have to come and do a house visit. We can't possibly do it over the internet because of the lax security using StreamYard, because other people might listen in on our conversation. Yeah. As I talk to you about your personal problems. So I might have to come over to your place and then go home shattered. And the police will go, "Why are you shattered?" And I'll go, "Because I was counselling a friend who's gone through a hard time. I don't want to talk about the bereavement because I'll probably cry a lot, but I'm just going home. I'm going to eat some food and then listen to Adele songs and cry a bit more and go to bed."
Yes, but
I can tell you about it.
Failing that, we'll wait a couple of
and then by that point, the cops are going, "No, it's good, man. It's good. No, you're good. You're good. Just have a safe trip, all right?" And then fucking want to run away, you know. But you come up to it nice and slow. Don't fucking launch into, oh, it's tragic. Go, just gently, and then start to go about, a truck ran over my dog, and then my wife killed my cattle, and then, then the aliens mutilated their graves. And, you make a country and western song out of it, and then, Santa killed the elves. It's the way to make coppers run away. I was on the tram in between lockdowns, and there's a few people there, and everyone was a bit, and then fucking we stop at a rarely used stop. Yeah. And half the tram up and fucks off. And I've got my headphones on and I'm going, did I miss an announcement? Is this like the last stop or something? And then I'm going, what the fuck's going on here? And then fucking the Black Bombers fucking cruise on the train.
Right.
Jesus.
The ticket inspectors,
It's good because I had actually tapped on.
You had a ticket,
but I just thought that was half a tram. Just got up and left. And I'm going, wow. No one takes my key seriously. Fucking nobody.
No. Look, I'm going to try. I'm about to taste test something I've never had before. There's a drink called Pisco, which is a South American grape brandy, essentially. Now, most people agree that it was invented in Peru. It's Peru's national drink, Pisco. But there's a bit of a fight with Chile, and they say they haven't. So this is the first time I've ever got Chilean Pisco. So it's a very nice.
Everyone fights Chile. Everyone.
Yeah.
Like Argentina does, Bolivia does, Peru does. Fucking Brazil has a go, and they're not even connected.
Yeah. I think this is like the argument between Scotland and Ireland and whiskey.
Gotcha.
But so it's Chile and Peru have arguments over who invented pisco, but I usually have Peruvian pisco because most people agree that's the original one. And also, my accountant's Peruvian. And anyway, you don't want to get between a Peruvian and a Chilean if they're arguing about pisco.
No,
So
no,
this is
no, don't
man.
do that. Just go, okay. Do what we did, me and my Aussie mate, when there was a Vietnamese and a Chinese talking about Vietnamese and Chinese New Year, and say, well, we'll just have to do both, won't we? And we did.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do a direct taste comparison. The Chilean one, oh my god, it smells so sweet. It's kind of like a cinnamon topped apple pie. It's
Wow.
Good. Man, it tastes like grapes, actually. It's good.
I was going to say, could you run helicopters on it?
Yeah, no, it's actually only 35%, but it's a grape-based brandy.
Because the other grape-based brandy I've had is that traditional grappa, and Jesus, that's
very different.
typical.
Very different. That's more like grape-based rocket fuel, the thing that the Italian grandpas brew under the house.
In my case, it was the Croatians, and they used to have a hat full in the morning.
Yeah.
Like they used to bring it in this big glass flag, and then you just go, Christ. And they'd all pour a cap full, and you'd have it at 6:45 in the morning. And a Canberra winter, it was -5. And they say, "Oh, drink 3 of these, and it'll keep you warm till smoko." And when the sun comes up, and it's only -1, and then bang, you'd hit this, and my old man used to say, "Oh, you'll be working hard. You better have 4." And,
Jesus.
I'd be on roofs going, Christ, I don't know, because back in those days you didn't have the safety harnesses and the barriers and that. You had to just walk on the sticks of the roof, and I'd be going, "Oh, okay, your feet don't have eyes. Okay, look down where you're walking." Which was funny because when I went to our theatre school at uni, our lecturer, the American, used to say, "Oh, look out at the horizon when you're walking on the slack rope or on a pole fence." And I used to go, "Your feet don't have eyes. You can't." You can't, and the slack rope idea is so that you can get your balance. But the thing is, you don't know where you put your fucking feet. So what's the point?
Yeah.
I always used to get in trouble, but then I didn't fall off either. So
Oh, there you go.
it's just a thing. Okay, so now that's the Peruvian.
No. I drank them both. The Peruvian's a lot more subtle than the
Chilean.
Chilean one. The Chilean one's much sweeter. Not in a bad way. This is my other thing. No, this is from Geelong, from the Anther Gin Distillery. This is their chocolate gin. They advertised this thing on Facebook as soon as lockdown was announced, like, "Oh, something to cheer you up. Order this little package," and it was this chocolate gin plus actual bars of chocolate that had gin-soaked cherries in it, because they make a cherry gin, and now they make a chocolate one. So I was going to be responsible with the chocolate and only have a little bit, but last night Mrs. Angry and I were watching TV and ate 2 bars of chocolate, a milk one and a dark one. So, but this is the first time tasting the gin, so got to try that, because their cherry gin is to die for. Andrew Hughes on Facebook saying it's 30 Celsius in Blighty. That's very warm for England.
That's warm.
Yeah.
Over there. That's it's a hot day over in Blighty.
Yeah. And I also agree with you, Andrew. Slack lines are witchcraft. People who can do all that really fancy stuff on slack lines, it's a particular sort of sorcery. It's
yeah, but you get used to it. I mean, you got to imagine that you're sleeping on a hammock, but there's only one string.
Yeah. But all witchcraft just
not helping
practice.
anyone, is it?
No. It's no good saying I got it because it's practice. All witchcraft's just practice.
True story.
Yeah,
True
it is.
fucking story. No truer.
No
fucking
lie
conspiracy.
detected. Yeah.
It's just fucking practice. Well, while you're trialing that, I'm trialing commercial benzos.
All right. Which is kind of the same thing.
Kind of the same thing. Flavor. Gotta imagine chalk.
Tell you what, this chocolate gin is very sweet. I don't say that in a bad way.
Thank you, Loriander.
Yeah, Loriander is very kind. Yes, and Andrew's now stunned that you're schooling us on talent.
Guy, but I'm going to try and talk to him again tomorrow.
Oh wow! I have to come up with a cocktail for this chocolate. Oh my god, it's just really like it's chocolatey. It's really sweet.
Can I have some, please?
I'll save some. Just
on a counselling session.
Okay. It's like so. It's a gin liqueur. It's 30% ABV. So Loriander's saying they're an older guy, so very wise. Well, we'll join the circle of wise elders here, and yeah, everything. You know what these actually? What? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I got to get an appropriate glass. Double rocks glass. I'm just going to use this ice actually. Fuck it, I don't want to be fancy. Because what they actually sent me, it's like I've been collecting handwritten notes from independent distillers over the course of COVID. People saying thanks for ordering, and I got another one from Anther, and they basically said thanks for the order. We found this goes best with Fever Tree Spiced Orange Ginger Ale, and so they included a 4-pack. Which I didn't pay for. They just included a 4-pack of spiced orange ginger ale.
Fuck, that's all right.
They're fucking legends. And
do they know that you're angry that does the cocktail?
No. I never tried to swing in.
No, I know you wouldn't. I know you're not that guy. You wouldn't say anything. But I just wondered if they did know. Because I mean, you're always very fair with your. You're always very fair with your.
Yeah. No, dude. My one thing, like with my cocktail channel, which I've been slowly growing over the last year, people saying like, "Oh, do you want to make a living from it?" I go, no. I just want to be just well known enough that people give me free booze. that's the goal. That people give me free booze. Simple as that. Exactly. And also, maybe getting invited to opening night things like a launch of a new beverage. Right. Pop that.
Can I have a tack on to your cocktail?
Oh, yeah, you can be a +1. You can be a +1.
AIDS's, opioids, and other illicits sampling 5 minutes. Yes, this opioids. Clearly a Chinese-based, and I always figured it's as long as I was getting free drugs, that's all I need. I don't need to get famous. I don't need sponsorship. Just,
baking pan. My cocktail channel is just called Angry Cocktails, and what am I doing here? Loriander's saying they're 47, I think they said. So, yes, AZ and I are somewhat north of the 50. So,
my fucking brother's turning 50. Fucking hell.
Oh, it was pretty wild when my youngest brother turned 50. That was a bit wild. Okay, I've done something really weird. Oh, it was behind the microphone. It's like I'd done some magic trick where the bottle I opened had vanished. It was behind the microphone. So
I lost a electric cigarette. 2 days ago, and I was losing my fucking mind, and I was going bad, and then I picked up my bloody water with vitamins in it, and it was just sitting behind it, and it was like,
No, the worst thing is, like, where are my glasses? I fucking
where are
looked
my glasses?
everywhere. Where are my fucking glasses?
Yeah.
And yes, Loriander, you're aware of how expensive booze is in Australia? Fucking expensive. That is,
Fucking
and
very expensive.
40% of the tax cost at least is tax. But yeah, so all right, my first try of chocolate gin and spiced orange ginger beer. To which this man says, "Yes, please." Oh my god.
Do you know the trouble is? You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Jaffa.
Oof.
thinking
Well, that's what
Jaffa.
it is. Orange and chocolate. It's a
And
Jaffa.
I'm just going, I am doing things in my pants that are untoward. And I love Jaffa. It's my favorite flavor. And you need counseling. You're clearly miserable.
Yep. Oh, Megaleech has
Um,
another good one. Using the you can't find your phone anywhere, and it's nighttime, so you use the torch on your phone to look under everything to find your phone.
That's I've done that one.
Yeah.
I was, however, stoned out of my guts at the time.
Yeah.
I knocked on the front door of my block of flats to get let in to my house twice in one night. It was not a good time. That was me burning out my mind with nitrous oxide. Not okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not okay.
No. Oh, seriously, Laurie Ann is asking, would I switch the streaming to the Cocktail channel when it's more established? These everyday streams I will probably always do on this channel, but if the Cocktail channel gets bigger, like by the time it's, if it gets 1,000 subscribers, like if there's several hundred regular viewers to things, I do a live stream once a week or so on the Cocktail channel, but the Cocktail channel would mainly be for pre-recorded videos. This in the last 18 months has become the live stream hangout channel. So it used to be pre-recorded videos, and then I just couldn't be fucked doing them anymore. So we just hang out.
Yeah, it's much easier. I don't have to travel as much. And during lockdown, it's been a fucking positive boon.
Yeah. Oh, you know what this is going to be? Sorry, this because I should have thought of Jaffa straight away, and I hadn't. I'm going to make this for the Cocktail channel, just a really quick, simple drink. Call it a spicy Jaffa. Because, a spicy Jaffa.
Ooh. Is there? You're saying nutmeg is over the top of it.
What? I didn't say anything about nutmeg.
It could have been in the other one. Why spicy? Is it like?
Oh, because they call it spiced orange ginger ale.
Spiced orange ginger ale.
It's spiced.
Is there any kick to it at all?
What?
Is there any kick to it at all?
Oh, it's very gentle and it's super sweet, because I'd always wondered what's the difference between ginger ale and ginger beer. And ginger beer is traditionally actually fermented ginger.
Yeah.
Whereas ginger ale is a fizzy drink made with ginger syrup.
That's right. It's a flavour. Yeah.
Yeah. So ginger ale is sweeter. It's still got that ginger tingle going on.
That's exactly. This is precisely the kind of spice I was thinking of, because as you are well aware, if it was spiced with some pollutant like chili, I could not have the fun of the Jaffa, the spiced Jaffa. I don't know if they even cry a lot. There would be tears.
And asphyxiation. Baking pan, I did. Oh, no, I mentioned cinnamon, I think, not nutmeg when I was talking about flavors.
There you go. Yeah, you're saying an apple pie. Look, let me just glue my bottom teeth on again, because obviously it's making my pronunciation difficult to hear. You've got your... Yes, you know that.
my ingredients. Okay. Spring water, sugar, color, caramel, citric acid, ginger flavor, clementine, and cinnamon flavor. There you go. This one's cinnamon too. But yeah, clementine as in orange flavor. Okay, fucking turn off. No, I just want you to turn off. There we go. Good. Okay. Lorraine, you hope it's okay to stick to Twitch? Stay on Twitch, by all means. That's you. Yeah. Go for it. It is. I see all the things, like I was saying the other night. I'd like to get some sort of add-on to this StreamYard so all the chat came up on screen, so everyone on every platform could see all the chat. It's not something I can do at this point. Someone could teach me how to use OBS, and I might be able to meld OBS and Twitch. Raiders, you messaged me on Twitter and Instagram. Okay. Let me very quickly check the Twitters. I tell you what, it hasn't come through on Twitter. Let me check the gram, because I'm fucking hip. I do not call it the gram, although I'm old and I call it Insta. No. Oh wait, what's that? No. What is this? What is this? Oh God. Since I included information about COVID, they included a health message. I just mentioned that I bought a fucking drink because I was in COVID lockdown. Well, I tell you what, Raiders, neither of those messages you sent me seem to have come through. I'll deal with it another day. Deep sigh. Deep sigh, deep sigh, deep sigh.
Why are you deep sighing now, mate?
I'm just trying to find a message that Raiders sent me. That's all right. I'll do it another time rather than being too distracted from the stream.
Fair enough too. I hate that when someone says, "Didn't you get my message?" and I go, "Oh fuck, no." Oh, I had some good news.
Good. What's your good news?
Right. So in my letterbox turns up a letter from the Australian Electoral Commission. I'm going,
Yes.
It's interesting. Australian Electoral Commission. Talking to me personally. Because they don't talk to you personally. They just go to the householder. They don't go, Mr. Aidsy.
Yeah.
And it was there with Mr. Aidsy and my address. And I'm looking at it going, that's odd. And then I'm looking on my corkboard behind my computer. So I can look up at my corkboard and it makes no sense at all. But I looked at it and there was my postal ballot for the council elections. And I'm thinking, I didn't put that in by a long shot. I didn't put that in because that was last year. And I was thinking, what was happening around that time? Oh, that's right. Oh, my brain was in my ass. I was busily burning it out with chemicals. And I get this letter and I open it going, this is going to sting. And it says, final notice. I'm going, final? Haven't you got to have one or two first notices before you get a final notice? And goes, final notice, couple $100. Didn't vote, you bastard. We sent this to you on the 25th of May. And I'm going, you might have, but I only just got it to yesterday. So I rung them up because you might want to, with alacrity, move on that. You might, sometimes you just don't move on things for a couple of weeks with a letter. No, I thought with this one, fucking get onto it straight away, because I got it on a Sunday, and on the Monday morning-ish, I rang them up, said, yeah, g'day. Didn't vote. No, I didn't vote. Well aware. Got the letter saying you didn't vote, and here's the fine and the late fee. Now I'll quickly run you through what went down.
Yeah.
And I'm basically trying to gently say the back end of last year was a blur.
Yeah.
And I only really just come good a month ago.
Oh.
And they've gone, and this nice, lovely woman on the phone has gone over the Victorian Electoral Commission. Has
Yes.
gone, right. Well, if you want an internal review, you get something into them today, because it's all going in to be reviewed tomorrow. Today's the cutoff. It's going in to be reviewed tomorrow. And I've gone, I won't have any medical documentation today. And she says, oh, yeah, absolutely not. And I said, because I'm going to see, got a week of doctors from tomorrow. This is all last week. I only just finished the doctors this morning. Yeah. And I don't think I've got one tomorrow, but I've just got to check, because otherwise I can hang around for the after party. Anyway, I'm free. Not a school night for easy. Anyway, I talked to her and she said, "Get," and I'm getting some medical documentation. I'm going, I fucking hope I'm getting more medical documentation. I'm getting some tomorrow. And she said, get something in today, and when you get your documentation, tack it on. Use your infringement number, because that's what we go for. And she said, you know how to write a letter that says, I'm bad, I'm very, very bad. And I said, oh, no. And that's what she said. She said, you know how to write a letter that says, I'm bad, I'm very, very bad. And I said, I know how to write that letter. I've written a few.
Several to your parents. I'm bad, very bad.
Many to my parents.
From the age of about 14 onwards. From 14 onwards, I reckon you were writing them. Yeah.
There's a dossier like this full of them.
Yeah.
University, don't even start. YouTube, I did them to camera.
Yes, several times. Yes,
several times. So I've written my email. I've been bad. I've been very, very bad. And in it, I've said, look, I only just got your letter. I know you didn't just send it, but in the block flats, the kid who got it in their mailbox has only just bothered to put it in mine. Happens all the time. It's not on you, it's on me. But this is, if you let me put in some documentation tomorrow, it'll come with a little bit more than a week has sob story and a admission of disorganisation and brain failure. And thank you for your consideration and your time. Next day, I learn in the doctor's waiting room how to make a scan with my phone. And then how to put the scan on the cloud and then get the scan onto an email. Yeah. And I'm just having revelations in the waiting room. One of the girls comes up and says, Azy. And I'm going, oh, okay. Because I'm going, yes, this is awesome. Right. So I'm doing all this, and I email my peeps, and it's a day late, and I'm just going, oh, please attach this to that, please. And I make sure that my infringement number is fucking very well posted, and they say on the email they send back to you, if your case gets up, you will get nothing. Okay, so take no further action. If your case fails, you will get further letters and phone calls and emails, and it'll be on. And I'm going, okay, cool. So I throw this into the email hole, and then a couple of days later, I get a letter. I'm going, Oh well. Oh, because I didn't tell you. My doctor, I said, yeah. So when you got really angry at me because I was burning out my mind with nitrous oxide because I thought I was being responsible, but it turns out I wasn't. And he goes, yes, I do know that time. And I'm going, he's got the stick out again. I said, well, appears that I didn't vote, and I have pretty much no recollection of October. Can I have a note? And he's gone, yeah, sure. And I'm going, wow, really? And
Nice.
it's
Nice.
just written it up, and it's like fucking biggity bang. That's what I scanned. And I'm going, it's fucking awesome. And so he's given me all of October off, which is when the postal ballot came out and when you had to have it in by. And anyway, so I also mentioned in my letter that my candidate got up. So, it wasn't a complete loss. It wasn't all bad. That was at least one good thing. Anyway, so then I get this letter back from the Electoral Commission. And I've gone, oh, here we go. How much? Because I was asking him if you reckon, fuck yeah, can you at least take off the late fee because I didn't get the first two notices? Yeah. Can you at least give me that? Then I get it back and they say, yeah, your appeal got up. Don't worry about it. You're good to go. And I'm going, yes.
Yeah, no, that whole thing, literally anything gets you off, honestly. I did an experiment years ago. I think it was this is actually while we were at uni. That's how long ago it was, a state election. And I rocked up to the electoral booth. I gave her my name, and this sweet old lady at the thing, she's got a ruler and she's going down the list looking for my name. And I saw her go past my name and she went, oh, you don't appear to be on the register. And I went, duh, my mistake, and left. And I thought, okay, what happens? Of course, I get a please explain notice. And I replied, with the truth, but with some omission of fact. I said, I attended a polling booth. True. I gave them my name. True. The person checked down the list and said I wasn't on it. True. I admitted I was there, but I'm doing this as an experiment. And I sent that off. I didn't tell any lies. I just omitted some facts. And they just went, yeah, okay. It's just like literally any response to please explain, you don't get fined.
Well, actually, the big one is my key. And we've talked about this before, but I did a bit of digging about it. You were saying that any what is it?
If you call the accuracy of their machines into question, they'll drop it because they can't afford a successful court challenge. One successful court challenge negates everything.
It's over.
And in fact,
millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah. What happened to me was I went on. I have a Mikey, put it on, and someone comes on and says checking tickets, and I gave them the thing, and they said you didn't tap on, and I said yes I did, and he said it was not registered, and I was like, well, I tapped on. You go, oh, how many times does it speak? I don't know. I had headphones on. I'm not paying any attention. He goes, oh, it's your responsibility. I said, no, actually, it's your responsibility to have machines that work. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a paid ticket, and they're like,
here, I tap there.
Yeah. And they're like, oh no, it's your responsibility. And I said, look,
no,
I'm pretty sure your machine tells you my history on there. And because this was when I was commuting, I said, so it will show I tapped on every morning and every afternoon, but apparently miraculously not the time you checked. So I think you maybe need to pull your head in. And they're like, no.
And I said, we're going to give you a fine now.
By all means, write me out a ticket. I'm taking it to court because I haven't done anything wrong. You're at fault. And they're like, oh, it's your responsibility. I said, no, save it. You're wrong, and I'm not listening to you, and I'm challenging this. And they gave me a ticket, and I said, by all means, give it to me because I need something to challenge you. And I just put it in an envelope, and you went, go fuck yourselves. I'm challenging this. And I got a thing back going, you're okay. Not least because they could check my Mikey history and see I'd tagged on every day and afternoon, and just apparently this time not.
Apparently this one time you didn't.
Yeah.
Because
And,
in 8 months of fucking travel, that was the day you decided not to.
Yeah.
As in,
And
God.
so, but the big
also-
thing is they can't afford a single successful challenge.
But the other thing is, I also, because I managed to talk to a lawyer, and it was a social thing.
Yes.
I was talking about the Mikey thing, and he said, "Oh, that fucking Mikey." And this guy's a barrister, right? And he said, "You got to understand that all the barristers and judges use public transport because their office is right in the guts of town.
Yeah.
So why are they paying hundreds of dollars for parking every day
Yeah.
when they can get on a train/tram and get straight to work?"
Yeah.
Because they get from their very nice suburbs to their very nice train station to their very nice city office at very, very early in the morning and very, very late at night because they work long hours. But I mean, they don't need to drive in. And if they need to get to the airports, they get an Uber or a cab. No biggie. And this guy said, in fact, I know High Court judges that get the fucking Sky Bus to the airport to go to Canberra. And I'm just going, fair enough. And he said, and these fucking black bombers get on these fucking trains and hassle. And because you know how I always say little kids and Asian girls?
Yes.
And he said, and they hassle Asian girls and fucking school kids. And I'm going, I'm in love with you.
Yes.
And I thought, we are now going to have a conversation. And I was ready to go, but this guy was flying. And he said the judges and the barristers are so ready for these motherfuckers to turn up to go someone for a ticket infringement. He says judges just love fucking going case dismissed as soon as they open their fucking mouths, because barristers and lawyers are getting hassled about tickets. And of course, they're not going to not tap on. They're always going to tap on, right?
Yeah.
And they're always going to have their mic keys topped up. And he said one judge turned up and his mic key was low. And he's going, oh, fuck, I better put some money on. And he's already on the tram and there's nowhere to put money in. So the black bombers have come up and he's going, oh, this is easy. Check your ticket. And he says, yeah, cool. Look, you've got a Zapper card machine on you. Can I pay for $20 worth of ticket right now? And then I'll computer it in this morning when I get to work. And they go, oh, no, we can't do that. And this judge has gone, hang on, you've got a FPOS machine in your hand, right, to take cash. Why couldn't I give you, I don't know, $100 worth of ticket? And then, retrospectively pay it, because I know I can do that on the computer. I've had secretaries do that for me before. And then I'll just pay you, and then it'll be good, and then we'll be sweet. And he's going, oh, no. And you can pay the fine now. That's why we've got the machines. You've only got the machines to pay the fines. Yeah, but not buy a ticket. No. And I can't buy a ticket on the actual train or tram, I think it was on. No. But you can't buy a ticket on a train or a tram. No.
Which you used to be able to. That's what shits me up the wall. They took away.
What shit this judge up the wall.
Yeah.
Because there used to be connies on trams and trains.
And after they got rid of the connies, for a while, there were ticket machines on trams. And they took away your ability, if you were in a rush, to jump on and pay for your passage. And fuck them. When they take away your ability to pay, of course you're not going to pay. Fuck them. I hate them so. And very quickly, hello, Kirsten, Helly, and hello.
Hello, gorgeous.
On what you missed, I did a taste test. I got my Anther chocolate gin, which is far more chocolate than gin, I must say. It's very sweet. And as per their recommendation, because they sent me a bonus 4-pack of Fever Tree spiced orange ginger ale, I had a double with a bottle of this, and my word, it's good. My word, it's good. Oh. Quality people.
Yeah, so this judge was fucking furious, and he's come into the office and he's fucking stopped all of his admin staff doing what they were doing, which was, like making cases go, and he's going to get everything on fucking the PTV, every law, every fucking clause, get it out, pull it on the desk. And he's fucking started ordering the whole fucking chambers to fucking destroy fucking PTV ticketing systems. And this news apparently spread, and he's made this little email, because they're old guys, email chain letter to all these email ring mates on a small fucking useful guide to fucking up PTV. And they all use it. Apparently if you put in any decent fucking challenge to a MyKey infringement, they will go, no problem, crang, fuck you. The legal system has no love for MyKey.
Oh, fucked. It's really fucked.
It's fucked. I mean, it was a stupid thing to do when fucking Premier Jeff Kennett got rid of the Connies. That was an outrage and a scandal.
Yeah.
That was treated as an outrage and a scandal at the time. The Connies were awesome. The Connies
They were great.
Were fucking great because you could get on there and go, I have no idea. I'm a newbie. I'm a tourist. The Connies made so much money for Victoria.
Yes.
The Connies made so much money for Victoria because you'd get on, right, as a tourist going, I don't know where I am. Mate, you're fine. You're here and here. What do you want to do? Oh, I want to go to the zoo. Oh, I want to see some comedy. Oh, I want to go and see the theatre. Oh, I want to go and get something to eat. And the Connies would be, well, what you need to do is you have to get off here and you've got to get on there. I'm going to write this down for you. It's this bus. And I'm going to get you off there. Now, you've only got 5 stops to go, so don't pay for this one. I actually do pay for half of bloody this and this, and your kids will be fine. So there you go. That's your day. You're done. You're fine. And then find another Connie and tell them you've got to get back. And I remember I was on a tram once, and the tourists were asking, how do I do this? And trams come up to the stop. Connie's got out of the tram. Hey, Tony! Right, to the other Connie. Tourists, got to get to the Luna Park. Make sure they're okay. And then, trotted them across the road, like stopped the fucking world so the tourists could trot across to the other tram. And Tony's going, yeah, sweet, come on board. And the Connies used to basically keep the place safe. When you were on a tram or a train, you were safe because there was always Connies running around. You were, if you got sick or hurt, you were safe because there was always Connies there looking after you. I've seen women, years ago, run onto a tram with guys chasing them, and the Connies would be going, how you going, man? Would you like a ticket? Yes, please, yes, guys. And he'd sit down there next to her going, so why don't you get your breath back, and when you're ready, you can tell me. Boys, you're travelling with us? Would you like to buy a ticket? You look like you need a daily. And, of course, next stop, they'd get off. You don't get that now. No, you don't get that now. And, they would recommend places to go. They would recommend places to eat. They would say, oh, you need to be back on the tram by 10:30 because this one goes then. But if you're going there, you can be there at 12 because there's another one at 12:30. You know, they'd know everything. They'd know everywhere. And bloody, you were fine. It was good. You could get around Melbourne. It was the easiest place in the world to get around. Still is easy, to be fair. Melbourne's public transport is bloody good. But with the Connies on, it was awesome. Now it's just good, and my key is shit. I have so many times tried to get off a bus. Oh, trams are easy because you get on, you touch on, that's it, you're done. Trains are easy because you're at the gate, you know, on, out, easy. But buses are awkward because you got to touch on, and the bus is lurching around everywhere, and you got to touch off with the other 25 people who are getting off at your stop, and then you got to get off the bus. So what I do is I touch off a couple of stops early because I'm lurching around with my walking stick and my mank, and you'd think the bus drivers would arc up. No, they know exactly what's going on, especially because you usually take the same bus to where you're going. And all my bus drivers know me, and they a couple of them have even woken me up. Hey, Zay!
Yeah.
Off you get.
Yeah.
Oh, early doctors today. Yeah, man. Yeah.
There were questions about what year they went. I just looked it up. It was 1998 was when the last conductors went. So,
and they were all told they were getting better jobs, and fucking 3/4 of them got fired.
Yeah, some of them got customer service jobs in an office, but there was a limit. There were far fewer of those jobs than there were conductors.
But they all got told they were getting better jobs. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them. No one.
I mean, like big employers lying and using subterfuge to try and get around industrial action. Who knew?
Yeah, it's like when they privatized it, it went to shit. It was no longer a service. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sorry, please go on.
No, I was just saying, Kennett just measured up the coffin and put it in place, and then over a number of years, several nails were put into the coffin, and the final nail was in 1998. So it was well over 20 years ago.
I was just disgusted by it. And then I think what year was Tampa? The Tampa crisis.
That was 90s because that was. Let me have a look.
The reason I ask was I remember I've always
2001.
Been Australia as a
2001.
Culture, but there was only one time I was disgusted with Australia, and it was the Tampa crisis because John Howard told Australia, be scared of Muslims, be scared. And Australia said okay and said yes. And Australia doesn't do that. Australia doesn't jump and be scared of anything, especially if a government tells them to be scared. The Australians turn around and tell them to get fucked. And for the first time ever, they went, oh, yeah, no, this is bad. It's bad. And it's like, fucking no, it's not us.
It's when John Howard institutionalized racism into Australian politics. And Labor is as guilty of it as the LNP because they've been too gutless to take a stand against it.
They were too gutless to take a stand. They looked at the numbers of Western Sydney. This all comes down to Western Sydney, right?
It does,
because
yes.
Immigration means Sydney means Western Sydney, and Western Sydney said, we've had a gut full of people who don't speak our language or who live blacker than us. And they made it known. Now, the thing is, and what people don't understand is 1 in 20 Australians is a Westie. That's election changing. That's election winning.
Yeah. It's how many seats do we talk? It's like 6 seats, which is enough to swing an election.
Any election, yeah. And basically, they looked at it, and instead of nuancing it or asking the right questions, they all just fucking bowed, which is disgusting. And like I said, I mean, I looked at this when John Howard said, "I'll be afraid of the muzzos," and Australia said yes, and I went,
Yeah.
we're not afraid of anything here. We have a country that's trying to kill us, actively trying to kill us every day.
Yeah.
And we are not afraid of men. Men is something we're not afraid of. When your environment, which is much bigger and nastier than men, your environment's bigger than nuclear weapons, right?
Yes.
One cyclone is bigger than the Ivy Mike tests, right?
Yeah.
We've had cyclones that were worse than the Tsar bomber, okay?
Yeah.
Are we getting a picture? Right?
Yeah.
And then they've turned around and said, "Oh, be scared of fucking several hundred men." Fuck off.
Yeah. And in fact,
You know?
what Howard said was, be scared of desperate people who are fleeing a hideous situation that our foreign policy is directly responsible for.
Yeah.
And as Andrew Hughes said, the Herd song 77% sums it up beautifully. There was that survey opinion poll that came out when Howard was doing his fuckery, when he told the lies about the people throwing children overboard, and because the media slavishly reported it,
They fucking lapped it up.
And 77% of people supported Howard's racist bullshit, according to this poll. And the Herd were just going like, yeah, well, okay, then just get fucked then, okay? Really? If that's real, just get fucked. I'm done with you.
Wake up, Australia needs a shake up.
Yeah, wake up. Wake up, this country needs a shake up. But I love that. Wake up, these cunts need a fucking wake up. I'm going to microwave my wheat bag for my poor beleaguered neck. I'll be back in a bit.
And as young Andrew microwaves, or angry, I should say, microwaves his wheat bag, I myself will have an opportunity to speak to you good people. Won't be able to get you to speak back because I'm dyslexic and I can't read any of your comments. What are people saying, Angry?
What are people saying? They're just saying like, 2 million in Western Sydney scares politicians.
Oh, it's more than that.
No, I love nobody. Even the grass wants to kill you in Australia. Yeah. Heine, not only was there no video evidence of children overboard, naval officers later said the story that Howard and his cronies put out was a direct lie, and Howard and his cronies knew they were lying when they said it. They knew that it never happened. But for those who are too young or don't remember, there was this refugee boat and a ship called the Tampa came across it, and there was a big thing where the government
refugee boat was sinking.
And there's a big thing where the government said like they're not allowed to come to Australia, so don't pick them up. And then Howard and his cronies claimed the adults on this boat threw the children overboard to force the hand of the captain of the ship, the Tampa,
Which was bullshit.
And it was, again, the captain and crew of the Tampa said later, that never happened. Why did you make that up?
That never happened. And the Tampa had already decided to rescue the ship after they got the Mayday. And they saw the ship was sinking. They had already decided to rescue the ship. The children overboard was bullshit. There was men in the water with life jackets catching the children to put onto the rescue boat that the Tampa had sent out because the boat was going down. And they were basically ferrying, the men stayed in the water and they were ferrying people across.
As also,
and do you know what the fucking Australian government fucking said children overboard before any actual news came out? So they fucking guessed what had to happen to a sinking boat and released it before there was any actual vision. Because there was
and another thing is, the Tampa was not an Australian ship, which is why when they radioed and said, I think they were trying to contact the Coast Guard or the Navy and say ship sinking, and they were told the official policy was to not take anyone off a ship like that. And they said, fuck off.
Except that international fucking rules, rules say you must take in refugees and they were not fucking asylum seekers. They were refugees. They were on one fucking boat. Okay, an asylum seeker is someone who has come from a place that is not their original country to another place to seek asylum. And Australia's pretty much a good asylum seeker place because you got to go through a lot of places to get here. Now, the Vietnamese didn't. They were refugees because they came straight from Vietnam. Some Arabian Peninsula end folk haven't, and some Africans have come straight across and are refugees. Now, these guys on the sinking boat on the Tampa were refugees. They were on one boat. It was fucking sinking. They got put on the Tampa, and the international rules say the closest country must accept refugees, even if they repatriate them later, which is something else entirely. Even if they put them out somewhere else later, they must take them. So Australia was breaking international law. This is what the captain of the Tampa was confused about.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going straight to Australia with these refugees because I have to. International law says I've got to port them as soon as I can so they can get medical treatment and they can get their documentation and they can get a fucking, they can get safe. And he was just following naval law, merchant marine law. And he's fucking turned up to Australia with this storm of fucking press, and you could see him in the press conference going, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck's going on here? This is a nothing thing. We do this all the time. And it turned into a shit fight in Australia. And I was disgusted with Australia on that time, and I was disgusted with Victoria, basically, who allowed the Connies to be told that lie, because I knew it was bullshit. There was no way they were going to get all those Connies jobs. And I asked the Connies, are you afraid that your jobs are going? So no, we're getting better jobs. And I'm going, you're not. You're all getting fired. They're fucking privatising the trams. Guess what's going to happen? You're all going to get fucked. Your wages are going to go down. Your conditions are going to go out the fucking window. And they did. Used to be you could talk to the tram drivers and they give you information. Now they won't talk to you at all. Fuck off. They're just there to sit in the fucking cabin and go. They've got, they used to have the chicken wire up for safety, but now they've got plexiglass up so you can't spit on them. Because people were getting so angry they were spitting on the tram drivers. And why would a tram driver want to talk to you if he's just going to get spat on?
Which again, separate subject. People who harass service staff, I fucking hate them. Whether it's a tram driver, whether it's someone working retail, whether it's someone working in fast food, anyone who abuses someone who works service is a piece of fucking shit. Because it's a shit-house job. It's a shit-house job. And they have no power. They don't set policy. And so complaining about policy is just so fucking dumb.
I have to go to a chemist every day. And I don't have I have to go to a chemist every day. And every day I see the same girls, women, warrior women, on every day. And a lot of them are young, and you can see her when she comes in. Karen, she's like in her late 40s, and she's either getting shit at home or she's not become the CEO that she wanted. And that girl behind the counter, she's younger and less rich than her, and she is fucking for it. And you can see it in their eyes when they walk in. That girl behind the counter is going to fucking cop it today. And they fucking wind up, and it can be anything. anything. It was one woman who fucking got up one of the girls because of the temperature of the store. Fucking ripped right into her. And thankfully, the guy that they keep on for night shift, he was doing a day shift, and he's just jumped in and said, "You can go and don't come back." The big boss of the chemist shop has given him permission to ban anyone. And on her way out, and I hadn't seen this before. On her way out, one of the women at the front counter gave her a bit of a snap with a photo. Click, and I went, interesting. And I said, did she take a photo of him? And my guy went, oh yeah, we've got a wall of them out the back here. And he said, one day when it's just you and me, fucking come and tell me, can I look at the wall? And I said, all right. And I waited, and it was an appropriate time. I said, can I come and have a look at the wall? He went, yeah, come on. So I've gone around the back real quick and had a look at the wall, and there's all these photos of people who are banned for life. And there's a fucking few of them, right? And a lot of them have got, like, eyebrows on, and most of them have got dicks in their mouths. And a few of them have got dicks coming out of their ears.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed back in the shop. And so they're studied, and you can see by their fan mail on the photos, you know, because it's a scanned piece of paper, and their name if they've got a name. Yeah, you can see that they're loved. But yeah, as soon as they're recognised, they're told, oh, you're banned from this shop, you've got to go. And then there's the ones without any portraiture added to them. And they're the ones who have committed actual crimes. And I was in another doctor's today, and I wasn't allowed to be told anything about it. But what this woman had done was she had faked a what do they call it? Script.
Prescription, yeah.
Faked it badly. Oh no, actually she faked it pretty well.
It's a handwritten note saying, my doctor says you should give me all the good drugs. And
she did. She'd done it at a computer. And she'd filled out all the numbers, and all the numbers were correct. Big problem, the doctor in question doesn't know how to use a computer, and does everything by hand. And the thing that bothered everyone was she got his provider number right. And that's a problem, because as soon as that provider number goes through, everything else trickles down. And she had asked for drugs that were, because I had a quick squeeze at it. She'd asked for drugs that were controlled, very controlled, you know, ring up Canberra type drugs. And the trouble with the system is that as soon as she's got his provider number and she asks for those controlled drugs, as soon as there's a 10-digit number there, the chemists will put them in. Even if it doesn't come up, they'll still give them the drugs, because it's the doctor's fault that they didn't get the number right. You see what I mean? It's the doctor's fault. And so this script has come back to the doctors going, you fucked up the permission number. She's got her drugs. This woman has got her drugs. And the doctor's going to wear the shit. And no, the doctor's not going to wear the shit. It's the fucking hammer's coming down on this woman real bad, which amazes me. I mean, these people, you know, they do this shit all the time, and they fucking think they're going to get away with it. And I just go, it's the 2020s, you know, computers are everywhere. They're right up your ass. You can't go 400 meters in China without a fucking microphone camera looking and listening to you. I mean, you know, those days of fucking getting away with shit is over. Crime scene analysis is so fucking good now that they can do 3D walkthroughs of what you've done. And everyone's got a fucking camera and a location finder on their mobile phone. So everyone's a reporter.
But they're very bad at consequential thinking. People like this are extraordinarily bad at consequential thinking. They think, if I do this, I will get that. and they don't think, and then 5 minutes later, the following will happen.
Yeah,
Like, seriously, to the point where I've seen people who like, that person is, the person operating that cash register is not protecting the cash very well when the tray opens. I can easily reach over and grab a handful of cash. They are correct. They can easily reach over and grab a handful of cash. It's just that they are recorded by 10 cameras doing it, and they will be caught 5 minutes later. And but they're
not
not
only that, the
Yeah.
3 store detectives and 2 security guards will rush to the front of the store and
Yeah.
stop them.
Yeah.
Because the girl who has had the cash taken out of a drawer is told, "Do not interfere. Just
Oh,
press
no,
the
you
red
don't.
button.
Yeah.
Just press the red
Yeah,
button."
absolutely.
And whoop, they come straight to.
Yeah.
She points, they grab. That's it. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing that amazes
Whatever.
me in these doctors is these guys that have to do what I do have to, every time we go in, we have to do a urinary drug screen.
Yeah.
So you get a piss in a cup and they test you. And then you go in and you talk to your guy and you get what is required. And the main thing is you get takeaways of these dangerous drugs. And you get takeaways if you're good, and if you are stable, and if you are necessary. I've got a whole bunch of takeaways so that when me and Angry are working on a project, we can work all week and not have to talk to corporate leaders and go, "Can I just pop out for a couple of hours and get me done?" Is that okay?
Yeah. That type of thing.
Because it's awkward.
Yes.
And
Yes, it is. It's a whole thing. It's just a whole
it's just
thing.
a whole thing with you're on Dome. Yeah, it's a thing. Oh, yeah, it's cool, man. Do you want to get on?
Yeah.
Because half of them then say, yeah.
Yeah. Half of the big corporates would be yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, so what'll happen is there's my community will boot up, then do their urine screen. Then they'll go into their doctor, and then their doctor will go, "You've lost all your takeaways, and this is your second warning." Because your first warning is I didn't know this, but your first warning is actually the contract you sign, because you do sign a contract. And it's mostly behavior. But that's considered a written warning. So you've only got 2 left. So then when they say you've blown your UDS, that's your second warning. You get another one, you're gone. And getting a new provider is, getting a new script writer is fucking difficult.
A pain.
Is because when you go to a new one and say, "Can I be on your program?" They go, "Well, where was your last one?" And you go, "Blah, why did you leave?" "Well, because they were really bad to me."
We just had a difference of opinion.
And
We had a difference of opinion. I thought I should be able to get on the gear, and they thought I shouldn't. Sorry, I just want to go different topic because it tickles my fancy. Kirsten was just saying she's been talking with whiskey wankers who have feelings, and they demand to share their feelings about whiskey with her. It's a big competition in the booze world. Who's the biggest pain in the ass? Is it the wine wankers or the whiskey wankers? Because they're
the wine wankers.
I agree. The wine wankers are just in front. It's just there are more of the wine wankers, so you see
because
more
and
of
then
them.
Because you get more of, you get the freaks who are excellent at wankerism. Whiskey wankers are up there. Let's not fucking get crazy. They're good, but because there's so many more wine wankers, you get just in every population you get a freak. Like in Australia in the 60s, I think it was, we had Dawn Fraser, the fastest swimmer in the world, and she was a freak athlete. You think whiskey wankers not?
I think Kirsten just deals with whiskey wankers. It just makes me think there was a Monty Python doco, and this was like from 20 years ago, but interviewing all the Pythons, and it just kind of was one thing, and they started talking about their interpersonal conflicts within the group because there were factions within the group, and yes, what the interviewer says, was there anything that you couldn't do? And Palin goes, well, there's this one sketch that I thought was funny, and we couldn't do it. And in fact, John Cleese said we couldn't do it. And they go, what's the sketch? Just go, well, it was a wine tasting, and someone gets a little glass of wine, and they do the, and they go, what is it? Oh, it's definitely from Provence. I'd say the grapes were on the south-facing side of the vineyard, harvested in autumn. And they go, no, sir, that was wee. And, oh, really? Okay. And then they did that. The sketch was to do that 3 or 4 times, have someone say a whole cavalcade of wine wanker things, and then the judge goes, no, that was wee again, sir. And Palin obviously finds this hilarious. And then you get Cleese being interviewed separately. He goes, there was this one Purell sketch that they, wanted to do. and just Palin barely
sprung, Cleese. You're so sprung.
Palin barely concealing his glee that he thinks telling wine wankers they're drinking wee is hilarious, and Cleese just going, oh, it was Purell.
It's a Purell. No, it's a foolish thing. No. And Palin fucking wrote that for Cleese.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was him and Terry Jones.
Cleese. That he had no fucking intention of making it go. He just wanted to fucking throw that in the ring and watch it blow up. Yeah, and watch Cleese fucking try and squirm out of it, because the rest of the boys would have gone, yeah, let's do it. No, we won't do that. No,
the other one was Terry Jones, the Welsh member, and he said, it was always terrible if I got into an argument with Cleese because I'm Welsh and I'd get really passionate. And when you're Welsh and you're arguing, your voice goes up. And Cleese, with his very English things, would just be going, no, down. And he said, I'd look like the idiot because I was getting really passionate and going up. And Cleese is just being really reserved and down. So he looked responsible and I looked like an idiot. But honestly, I was right and he was wrong. And it was really funny.
Yeah. I was right. Every time. Yeah. Because, I mean, so many comics will turn around and say, oh, yeah, no, I was clearly in the wrong on that one.
Yes.
What have you done with
they're great at comedians are great at admitting their own shortcomings.
Yeah, I'm good at it.
I remember you wanting to fucking punch this guy who was out for Comedy Festival one year, some Pommy whose show was bombing. He was no one well known, but his show was bombing. And he was blaming the audience, saying everyone in England thought he was a genius. And the fact that his show was shit and was bombing was the audience fault. And I swear, I felt I was right on the verge of physically restraining this man, because he was going to punch fuck out of this guy for saying the reason his show was failing is it was the audience's fault, which is absolutely ridiculous. I wanted
to kill him.
I know, and I can see it in your eyes. Oh, I love that line, nobody. I don't think I've been wrong before. There was one time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. A performer blaming the audience for their act bombing is ridiculous. So, yes, that's just so dumb. What are you going to do? Some people are just like that. So you know what? Okay, just randomly, because on and off we've been talking about booze all night. Mrs. Angry decades ago was into making wine, like making homemade wines. And I opened 1 or 2 of the bottles recently, to mess with them in cocktails. And there was one just sitting at the table just near my booze. And I forgot. And she has these beautiful hand-done labels on them. And I said, I've forgotten, what one was this? And she recognized it immediately and said it was mead, the honey wine, basically. And I said, that's right, I've tried this. This is good. And then I went, I just looked on a calendar. It's mead day next week. So just by some random thing, remembering there was this bottle, and she actually made it 30 years ago. It's a 30-year vintage mead. So I'm definitely making a mead cocktail on
Wow.
Friday. I know. I was just like, oh, yeah, this one's pretty good. I said, when did you make it? And she looked at it and she said, it'll be on the label. And she looked, yeah, it was like from 1992 or something. So it was like a 30-year-old vintage. And because you have to, for it to be mead, you actually have to brew it for, I think, at least 3 years. So it's this 30-year-old vintage. Oh, yes. Loriander, mead is a Danish thing. Mjord. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. That's mjord. Oh, yes, fermented honey. Yes, you got to ferment. Mjord. There you go. I'm never sure how to pronounce that O with the line through it. Mjord. Oh, Kirsten, I did see. Yes, I don't like coffee. Kirsten working Archie Rose, they've released a coffee whiskey. And look, absolutely caught my eye, but I just really do not like coffee as a flavor.
And he doesn't love AZ that much.
Oh, I do. If you want coffee, because I got Mr. Black to enter that thing. I can't. It's still in the fridge. There's this mochaccino. There's a clarified mochaccino cocktail.
And I am, coming.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
One
Oh,
day
yes, that's right. It's called, yeah, sorry. The Archie Rose coffee whiskey is called Blasphemy, which, again, excellent name for a product. Oh, Loriander says I almost got it right. Mjord is almost right. So there you go. That was a fine take on my part, apparently.
Good work.
Yeah. So now I just want to look it up, actually. The Archie Road Blasphemy, because I'm on their mailing list, so I did get an email, and I thought, oh, that's cool, but it's coffee flavored. It's not for me. Where are we? Oh, it's probably not even on the site yet. Is it on the site yet? Because I got the email because I'm on the mailing list. What's on the site? Rye malt, single malt, tailored whiskey. Ooh, a whiskey in every port. Oh, no, it's here. Archie Rose Sandali Coffee Blasphemy Coffee Whiskey. It's very dark. Very dark. Joined forces with Melbourne's acclaimed St. Ali coffee roasters. Purists may rally against the notion of subverting these two liquid obsessions and label blasphemy an act of anarchy, but on tasting the spirit and understanding the production processes behind the pairing, it soon makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but then so does homosexuality. You still get burned.
What's this one? Oh, wow, that's a pricey one, $199. A whiskey in every port. Oh, yes, enter the ballot to secure one of 300 bottles. It's like, it's $200, but they're still having a ballot because it'll sell out on the first day. So you actually have to get a ticket to go in the ballot. 12 noon, Tuesday, 29th June. We'll close on Wednesday, the 23rd. You get a 5-day purchase period, after which no bottles will be available online. Whiskey in Every Port's fourth release of our Trials and Exceptions series. Limited edition spirits uncovering exceptional single casks, small batch trials. Oof, local sales to Australia only, limited to 1 bottle per person. Damn, they're just like, they're mad scientists. They're these alchemists, mad scientists coming up with all things. Oh.
Well, I mean, this is it. I mean, because, if you're at any size distiller in fucking anywhere, you've got to trial what it is.
Yeah.
So the trials take 6 years minimum.
Yeah.
Because you've got your experimentation phase that's 3 years.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go again after you've done your first test with the 3 that'll go. Then you get 1, maybe. But then you get one that really goes, and you go, okay, this is the one that we're going to go for again. So that's another 6 years before it comes out in the proof of concept run, which is like 100 bottles, 200 bottles. So you've really only got 6 to 8 bottles to sell of this really good thing that you're not going to see again for half a decade. So you can see why, when these shops go, I'll have a bottle of that, and there is only 1 bottle you're getting.
Yeah.
Because there's only 6 of them. The
Yeah.
fucking distiller's going to keep one or two of them for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, to stick in their
Yeah.
science shelf, and one for
Yeah.
the boss's
Yeah.
cabinet.
Yeah.
So you can see
This-
clearly
yeah.
why these things cost through $200-$400.
Yeah. Now listen to this one. Single malt whiskey began its journey in 50-year-old LBV port casks before being married in a 225-litre Australian tawny cask. Features 6 malts that complement the richness imparted by the union of old and new world port casks. So the port cask is from Europe. The tawny, you're not allowed to call Australian drink port anymore, so they just call it tawny. So it's in a 50-year-old European port cask, then an Australian tawny cask. Imparts notes of figs, espresso, tobacco, and prunes. The mash bill, it's 6 malts: pale malt, peated, amber, caramel, aromatic roasted, and chocolate malt. Fuck me, I am so. I think that's one. Kirsten saying she's got it, and it's really good.
Hey,
there.
Kirsten, did you know I love you?
Actually had. Safa had a canned
That
cocktail.
my love for you is very strong.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah. Safa had it. He just from like Dan's. They had canned cocktails from Archie Rose, which he said were exceptionally good, and Kirsten passed it on to the drinks manager. So that's nice. I'm now tempted. That port whiskey is out of the price range I would normally do, but I'm really fucking tempted. I am severely fucking tempted. Oh my God. Anyway, there's these fun guys on YouTube. If you're ever looking for hours of entertainment, you want to go the Whiskey Tribe on YouTube. There are these 2 guys. Well, it's a bunch of people, but the key ones are these 2 guys. They started a distillery in Texas. They were whiskey freaks, and they started a distillery, and they're actually just releasing their first single malt. But it became a crowd-funded thing. They were like, oh, we're doing this thing. And they got this mad community behind them. And they were like, well, we could start a thing, you know, if you all supported us. And they did a crowdfunding thing that was just massively oversubscribed. Kirsten, it was June last month. I wasn't even looking. Sold. It says it in red in front of me. Sold out. Okay. I'm sorry. It's late. I'm tired. That's the thing. So okay. Well, I saved myself $200, but there you go. But these guys, the Whiskey Tribe, they built up this community, and they're great because while they're very whiskey, but their big thing is a good whiskey is the whiskey that you like drinking. Like they're very anti-snob. They're very sort of like, if someone says this is my favorite, you don't say you're an idiot. You go, that's your favorite.
Good on you. Yeah, enjoy that.
But they crowdfunded this distillery. Like when they went, could we raise the funds? And it was massively oversubscribed. And they've got this really diehard fan base. So they've finally got their first single malt. But because they've got such a big community, what they've done with their first single malt was they bottled it in 50 ml bottles, and it's going out to everyone from their Patreon. It's like, so if you're subscribed to the Patreon, you just get, and it's just the tiniest sample, but they'll eventually have production running, and they'll have regular whiskies coming out. But
something that blows my mind a little bit, right? In Australia, prostitution and alcohol making. Hey, Annette. How you doing? Prostitution and alcohol making is legal, taxed, but legal.
Yes.
And fairly straightforward. Not impossible.
Yeah.
In America, but fairly expensive. Expensive, right?
Yeah.
In America, prostitution's illegal, and alcohol making is really quite involved. Legal wise, really quite involved. but it's cheap as hell.
Yeah.
And same with the prostitution. And I'm going, how did you do that? And I know that you're looking at a minimum wage society, but it's just odd. You can walk into a liquor store and get like a full bottle of booze for $2.99. It's like
It is ridiculously cheap there. Yes.
And I got told by an American friend of mine. He says, "Well, you got to keep your population calm somehow." Remember, they're alarmed, and I'm going, oh, "It's not a good look."
Yeah.
Booze and
On
guns.
the bright side here, sex work is about to move from legal to decriminalized, which is much better. For people who don't know the difference, legal means the government controls how it's done. So you and I in our day-to-day job don't have to have the government looking over our shoulder. The move to decriminalization treats sex work like any other job. It's like, yeah, you are a worker. You have the same protections every other worker has. You don't have these weird government regulations over your head. Particular business types, as in a brothel, etc., do have.
Totally fine.
But it's not just brothels. Pubs have rules. You can't put a pub literally next door to a school. You just can't. But the work decriminalized is much better than legalized, which is obviously much better than illegal, which is the status of sex work in the US, except in very limited circumstances, which is bizarre, stupid, hypocritical, and dangerous.
And dangerous as hell. The nice thing about Australia was when they went to legalise prostitution in Australia, what they said was, look, set up a brothel, and as long as you run through health laws, because this is all in the AIDS days, this all happened, as long as you run through the health laws and do regular health checks, and do regular, basically, virtually, what do they call the food people that go into restaurants? What do they call them?
Waiters?
No, the people, the health department.
Right.
Health department checks of the brothels. As long as that was all tickety-boo, you were sweet. There was also registration and licensing. Now, the thing about that, as you say, there was good, but it just got a little bit. Everybody had a piece of paper involved, and just got a little bit out of hand. Especially when the GST came in, and some things were subject to GST and some things weren't, and the BAS statements were a little bit, how many cocks are you going to suck this month? I don't know.
Funniest thing I ever had, I worked for an IT startup that was updating government websites, including the department that initially regulated brothels in Victoria. And the guy going through the content on the website couldn't stop laughing, because if you want funny, you want a list of legal and illegal sex acts written by a public servant. Because he was just in hysterics with all the stuff. And actually, Heine asking the big questions: are bareback blowjobs from a sex worker, I assume you mean, legal? No. All sexual activity legally all sexual activity that involves a penis legally has to have a condom. This, in various iterations, is clearly not followed in a lot of cases. But the legal status is, if there is a penis involved, there is a condom involved. So
that's right. And if you're in a place where there's not a condom involved, tempting though it is, walk away, because you are basically going to catch a disease.
Yeah.
And you are contributing to the slave trade.
Yeah. And it was also weirded out by guys who you hear these stories of these guys who try to coerce sex workers into not using condoms. And I'm like, first, you're a prick. Second, if they agree, you're not the first person they agreed to on that. Like, that is the weirdest, dumbest risk. And not that go beyond sex work, just dates and picking up and hooking up and all that shit. Coercing someone into not using a condom is fucking weird as hell to me. It makes no sense because it's just putting you in such a bad position. Yeah, Heine, you are remembering a video of a sex worker I interviewed a few years ago who said she did it, and she probably acknowledged it's not strictly speaking legal, but again, certainly in Victoria, the law says anything that involves a penis also involves a condom. So
when I was when I was working for the agency in the early 90s, we would have a special service where we would bareback for a customer, but the strictures involved were intense, and I, as the worker, would have to hang around. I'd have to go and get my final check. So you don't work for a week, because the first day of the week you get your full medical, and then for a week you don't work, but you have to go into the office every day so they can see where you are.
Yeah.
Then for the last day you get your final check, and you're with a security guard basically sitting in a hotel room for the entire day, and the customer has got their check a week before, and then their final check the day before and the day of, and they get treated to a spa treatment all day. And what it is it's a way to keep an eye on them all day to make sure they don't bugger off and get someone else involved. And it cost a bomb. It cost a fortune. I remember one time I was asking one of these guys, to do this, it's cost you so much money, and you've got so much money that you could just get someone to go with you. And he says, yeah, I could do that, but then I could then get a disease, and my multi-billion-dollar business would be, in trouble as I tried to get my reputation out of the gutter. Whereas all I have to do here is come to Australia for 2 weeks and get away with things I can't do in my conservative Asian country at home. And basically, yeah, it says I'm having the time of my life. It's great. And okay, fair enough. But you go to places like the States, not a problem. It's like, fucking, what are you asking for a disease? And a lot of the youths in Australia at the moment don't believe in the condom. And I had this big argument with a young lady who's in her 30s. And she said, oh, it's okay now because AIDS is cured. And I'm going, no, it's not.
No.
And I was with my bro, and he was this lady's age, and he was going, no, it's not.
No. And I don't want to cut you off, but I'm going to, because it's bedtime and I'm going to bed.
Fair enough too.
And Loriander asking, how do we go from alcohol to sex workers? We just do stuff like that.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, it just happens. So
next week it'll be rockets.
Exactly. So night all. So as per usual, I won't be on tomorrow night, but I'll probably be on Thursday and Friday night. So if you're a boot, see you then. But until then, have a good old time, and I'll see you later.